Happy Tuesday! On today's episode of Guru Tips for Actors, we're going to talk about how to get rid of jealousy for good. On last week's episode of Guru Tips for Actors, we talked about how to handle survivor's guilt as an actor. How do you deal when you're feeling a little bit guilty that you've achieved something big when your friends don't have the same thing? Now this week, we're going to talk about what to do when you're that friend, right? And we've all been in that position where one of our friends or someone that we know, or even someone that we don't know, achieves something amazing and we're like, so jealous about it. So it's a familiar feeling, but how do we deal with that without driving ourselves crazy? I have a few tips for you around this. The first is to realize that you're only getting the highlights. Remember, you don't know the full story of what's happening with that person. This is especially relevant on social media. People share the most amazing aspects of their lives on social media, me, myself included, and we see these things and we're like, oh my gosh, she has such an amazing house. Oh my gosh, she books so many roles. Oh my gosh, her family is amazing. And we don't realize that this person is human and has all the same struggles that we have, and maybe even some that we don't have. So keep in mind that you are getting the highlights and you don't know the full story of a person's life, even when they're achieving. The second thing to remember is that when an actor achieves something great, he or she is not taking anything away from you. Remember that there is a role for everyone. We're all very unique, and what one actor books is not your role. There is no scarcity of roles available. In today's current technology climate, we can really create our own roles and tell our own stories. And there really is so much going on. There are so many people being creative and telling stories, and they need talented actors to make that happen. So keep in mind that when something good happens for someone else, it doesn't mean that there's one less thing available to happen for you. My third tip is to figure out what you can learn from your feeling of jealousy. A lot of times, jealousy can be a good indicator of what's really important to us. If one of your friends just booked a recurring guest star on a show and you're feeling so incredibly jealous about that, that could tell you that it's time for you to step it up and make that your next goal, right? So figure out what you can learn. What did your friend do to accomplish that? Or are there some things that you can learn from him or her? Are there some habits that you can put into place to make that more of a reality for yourself? Really allow your jealousy to be a motivator rather than something that distracts you and makes you feel helpless. And my fourth tip is really the most important, I think, and that is to cultivate a gratitude practice. I have a habit of thinking of 3 things that I'm grateful for each night before I go to bed. And so I really am in touch with the things in my life and the people in my life and the assets that I have that I'm really grateful for. A lot of times this can curb feelings of jealousy because when we're in a space of jealousy, we're thinking about something that someone else has and then we don't think about what we have. So remember to cultivate that practice, and whether it's gratitude journaling, writing things down can be really effective. Whether you download a gratitude app, I actually love one that's just simply called Gratitude for the iPhone, so check that out. But there are lots of tools and accountability practices that you can have around gratitude that can really help with those feelings as well. So I hope that helps. If you enjoy this content, subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to share it with your friends. And if you have a question that you'd like me to answer in an episode of Guru Tips for Actors, email it to me at questions@workshopguru.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you next week.